Today on Comm Talk, we're talking about women, because it's Women's Month.
Captain, we have a proximity alert with the planet Geekery. We are approaching collision.
Quicks, get somebody on the comms, enter in the security code.
257.
Security code accepted.
Hello, devoted geeks, and welcome to episode 33 of Comm Talk, the podcast extension of Geek Devotions, the YouTube show from a couple of devoted geeks that are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. I am Celeste, and today we have a very special guest with us, a guest that Dallas and I both love dearly, who is currently holding a cabot, and it is Dallas's sister, Damara, from Coffee Talk 318. Yes?
Yes. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see y'all. I'm sorry, hear y'all? Maybe?
That's
just
you.
Awkward.
Talk to you. Podcasts are weird.
Yes, they are. I'm used to being filmed. I can do film.
See,
well, I don't like being filmed, but I can do it.
I was about to say, I thought that this was a better option for you because you don't care to be filmed.
I don't like being filmed at all.
Okay.
Give me the camera. We'll be good.
Tamara prefers to be the technical person. As you listen to this podcast, please interact with us. Send us your thoughts on what we are saying via Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find us simply by looking up Geek Devotions. Leave some comments and interact with us on our social media and, again, iTunes. And perhaps you can be our devoted geek of the month. So now it is time to get into our topic. Now, I phrased all of this with geeky girls, even though it's women, and we are grown women.
Yes, we're grown.
With the exception of the cabot, because you're not holding Ryoki.
Yeah.
You're holding Kenobi.
Yeah, he's male.
But he's going to be quiet for the podcast.
Yeah, he'll be very quiet. He's just going to sit here and apparently shed on my pant legs.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, I didn't know he sheds.
Beware, everyone. Cabots shed.
Just a little bit. At least their ears do. That sounds bad. I apologize, cabots everywhere.
We apologize if you didn't want people to know your ears shed. Okay.
I still love you.
So in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about being a geeky girl, how to be a geeky girl, things that everyone thinks geeky girls are, what they really are, kind of like those memes that run around. You know, what I think I do, what my parents think I do. It's like that, except more realistic.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
And then we're going to talk about what we're geeking out about. So that is the rundown of things. We are also going to have a break in the middle, and it's going to be cool. So let's get started. Being a geeky girl.
Yes.
Damara, what is this like? Not that I don't know. but
great question.
For our listeners, because who knows, there may be some young man who's listening to this podcast who goes, geeky girls exist?
Yes, we do exist. They
do exist. They're magical unicorns.
Yes, we exist, except we can be found in not in stuffed format. Though some of us are fluffy like myself. Being a geeky girl, okay? Being a geeky girl is like embracing all the animes, all the books and everything and not being ashamed of it. We're just like everyone else. We're really the same. It's just we don't have shame in saying, hey, I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up. Yeah. Or Sailor Moon or Reboot. Does anyone watch Reboot still? I haven't found it on anywhere. Dallas probably has. Just all those shows that we grew up on, and we're not ashamed to admit it.
Yeah. So, or not even stuff that you grew up on, but just stuff that you're into. Like, I will happily tell you all about the Red Queen series, which is coming out in May. The newest one is coming out in May. Mm. And my birthday is in May. So,
hint taken.
This might have,
listeners, take the hint, please.
I might have already heavily hinted that to Dallas in the form of, can I have this for my birthday?
That's not a hint. Let me shove it in your face and say, here it is. I really don't know how to do that. I'm kind of figure it out on your own.
I only do it with certain things, like books and oils and books
and more books
and more books.
I do that with coffee.
Yes, you can be a geek about coffee. You can be geeky about musical things. That's the joy about being geeks and nerds, is that it doesn't matter what it is. It's the passion behind it.
Exactly. And sometimes as geeky girls, we can be on the nerdy side too. For example, I have a master's degree, so I'm pretty nerdy.
Whoop!
And I'm a counselor. So when you sit down with someone, you are meeting a counselor, your first thought process is a little different. And then, like, my clients now, they're all teenagers, and so they figure out that I know what anime they're talking about. Suddenly they decide, oh, it's okay to be myself now, because you know what this anime is. And I'm like, yes, and I know who Goku is, and yes, I know what Super Saiyan 6 is.
I heard something interesting on a podcast today that I was listening to, not at work, but they were saying something about it in one of the movies. It explains how they get to Blue Super Saiyan, and it was like, hey, I kind of know what that is.
Yeah, don't they call it like Super Saiyan God?
I don't
or God
know.
Form? I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Dragon Ball Z is not in my repertoire of things that I know.
I've been out of the loop since I started masters and had to study all my life. It feels like so I don't know if that's I may not be right.
Ask me about
That's
Fruits
a panda.
Basket, and I will be able to tell you all about it. But not Dragon Ball Z. That's Dallas's thing. Okay, so when you say stuff about geeky girls, there's some stereotypes that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And for the listeners, because we've already discussed this, but for the listeners, the three most
Common
stereotypes are either you are a complete slob, you don't bathe, you just read anime and are surrounded by Pocky Packs and
which Pocky sounds great right
oh my
now.
gosh, why do I not have any
clean,
Pocky?
by the way.
Yes, we bathe on a regular basis.
Yes, sometimes more than once or twice a day. I could probably shower 3 or 4 times a day if I was allowed to. And had that time.
And this has been a peek into the life of Damara.
Probably a little TMI for all listeners everywhere.
Probably. But that's one of the general, just that real cringy, real so obsessed with whatever that they forget real life exists. Mm-hmm. Then you also have the ones that they're like, oh, you're just into it because some male figure in your life is into it.
Yeah.
Which, that one, I guess I kind of fall into because my dad got me into stuff, but it wasn't that my dad got me into stuff, it was that he was into stuff that my mom was not into. So it opened up more worlds to me, and I've gotten way more into stuff than he is. So I feel like
I would say that you were a geek long before that, though. Even with the Disney princesses. You can be a geek with Disney instantaneously. So I would say you were a geek before that. It was just an opening of a new world into an area that people think is masculine. That is really kind of a little bit of both.
I can sing most of the songs from the Disney movies of my childhood.
Yes, you can. And you can mimic their voices.
Which scares my husband sometimes.
Yes, it does. He's informed me.
That I'm not allowed to sing Poor Unfortunate Souls?
Yes.
Around him?
Mm-hmm. I've heard that.
He was so freaked out.
I, however, find it absolutely hilarious. The first time I heard it, we were at Pastor's house.
Oh, what did I do?
We were taking care of his daughter, and
who is also geeky-ish.
Yeah, she's geeky. She'll own it. She's very proud of it. But yeah, we watched The Little Mermaid, and then you sang it for the entire day.
God, that I'd done that.
You did. It was fantastic.
We were watching.
We had fun.
We were watching.
It was. Oh.
Was it Mary Poppins? Because I seen that one too.
It was the Diamond Edition.
Oh, it was right after you gotten it for me.
Yeah, it was around the Diamond Edition when it first came out.
So we were just more proof of how much I know Disney songs and musicals. I do like musicals too. I just know the Disney better. Yeah.
Quick fact though, because that was The Little Mermaid. The
Yes.
Little Mermaid is the same Disney film that when I had, I had massive ear infection as a child, I actually listened to The Little Mermaid.
Aww.
That was actually playing. So I know the song really well. So I had memories, and then to develop a new memory of being geeky with my sister-in-law was pretty cool.
Watching.
Well, you were my sister-in-law at the time.
Oh.
You were going to be, though.
Same thing. So we were watching a friend of ours stream the old Lion King game. And he was stuck on a level in the graveyard. And so all of a sudden I realized the background music is Scar's song. Where he's like, a shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. Where we feature? Just listen to teacher. Like that. And so as we're...
Whoopi
Goldberg was one of the hyenas.
Wasn't she singing one of those?
Yes. She was the one who goes, now where do we feature?
Yeah.
So,
I remember.
So, poor Dallas, it was stuck in my head for like 2 days. And then he streamed it again the next Friday. So it was pretty much every weekend for the entire time that Retro Rewind podcast streamed that, I was singing it at home. Because he was stuck on the same level pretty much the whole time.
Oh, wow.
So, just in case you don't know, check out Retro Rewind podcast. This is why Dallas normally says their name. Because they're pretty cool people. We are going to take a quick break, and then we will be back to wrap up the podcast.
Are you a new business or ministry and need help getting your message out? Are you a budding artist who needs help sharing your passion with the world? Need help creating a social media presence that's impactful and represents who you are, but can't afford to have someone else run it for you all the time? One of my passions is to help people establish a social media presence so they can reach others with a message that encourages and changes lives. Not only do I want to help you create it, but I want to give you the skills so that you can maintain and grow your online presence. I offer a variety of services from graphic design to creating a social media campaign to consultation. If you're interested in my help, email me at geekdevotions@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
In 5 seconds, we sat here in silence so Dallas can insert an ad.
Oh, good. While we drink our coffee. Brought to you by International Coffee. No, it's not really, but that would be awesome.
They're welcome to sponsor, though. We are sipping. I have Earl Grey. You have coffee.
I have French Vanilla International Coffee.
Yes. We are very serious about our drinks here.
Yeah, you'll find out at the end of this episode why I'm serious.
Okay, so the next topic. What are we currently geeking out about? Damara, why don't you go first?
Okay, so, obviously I do geek out about coffee. Again, you'll find out later a little bit more about that, but I did grow up watching the Disney stuff. I grew up watching animes galore, books, total Tolkien fan, even read the books, Aragon, no. I'm combining names. See,
I say
this is what happens when
I say it Aragon in my head so that I don't confuse it. I know that's not how you actually say it.
Yeah, it's the one that starts with ER, not the guy from Tolkien.
The one written by a teenager.
Yes. Brilliant, by the way.
Not the
very well done for a
teacher
teenager. Yeah, not that one. But more recently, specifically, and I think we talked about this earlier, is when I went into my master's, I got to a point where, because of my learning disability, I really had to study all the time. Well, because I was studying all the time, everything was repeating constantly in my head, and I had to stop it. Mm-hmm. And so the trick that I found was I accidentally came upon this Korean movie, and I can't even remember the name of it now, and I can't find it on Netflix anymore.
Was it the one where he was riding the really sweet bike?
No.
Okay.
That was different. But this Korean movie came on, and it was subtitled, and so I watched the whole movie for 2.5 hours. But I went to sleep that night, and for like the first time in a month, I wasn't dreaming what I was studying. Suddenly, I was just a normal, just go to sleep, wake up next morning feeling refreshed for once. Mm-hmm. And so clearly, you can't watch movies every night. So I stumbled upon Korean dramas at that time, and I started listening and watching some of them, and because Korea is very good about how they do their dramas. They're very well thought out. They build things. They build their plot lines up well. I got into that. So recently I went back to an old show. It's called Roommate. Mm-hmm. If you watch anything on Drama Fever, I would recommend it. It's completely clean. It's not like reality TV in the US. Their reality TV is clean. I went back and I watched the first season again that I actually watched originally when it came out in 2014. And I laughed again and again because it's absolutely hilarious. You enjoy it. They're really great people that are in it. You get a pretty good idea of the actual character of those people. And I mean like their literal personal character traits. And then I started watching the second season and I'm hooked again. So I'm back onto the Korean half of it right now, and
she's back into the Korean dramas.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like probably the first time, simply because I just don't have that much time.
Right. Because the first time that she's referencing, Damara didn't watch anything in English for months.
I did not, especially, do you remember when I studied for comps?
Yes.
I had this giant test, and I actually took a quarter off where all I did was study for comps. And I made that random chicken dish that I don't know the recipe to anymore.
So good.
It was amazing. I don't know what I did. All I know is that there was the day that I almost put the milk in the cabinet instead of the fridge because I was so worked up about studying. And the only thing that would shut my mind off every night was literally I'd have to watch something in a foreign language. And you could only watch so much. And at the time, that was before Netflix really got on to having a lot of Korean dramas on it.
Netflix has gotten better, people.
Yeah, they have. They've done they have a much broader range. You can find stuff in Russian now.
You can. I've stumbled across a drama.
Or Turkish. That one was Turkish.
Oh,
yeah, that was Turkish.
There is I was actually recommended a Turkish drama on Netflix that I was going to find.
Was it the historical one?
I have not a clue.
They have 2 or 3 that are historical, and there's one specifically that was about a general.
I don't know.
It was done in Turkish.
It was recommended to me at the same time I was recommending Hanakimi, which is my favorite international series.
Yeah, that one was Japan. You actually introduced me to that one.
I did.
And I watched it in 3 days.
Hanakimi was my introduction to Japan at all, like Japan TV. Mm-hmm. So from there, went to Rurouni Kenshin, went to Fruits Basket, went to, oh my god, there's so much stuff.
Yeah, Japan knows how to do that. It's an anime. They know how to do just about anything, honestly.
I think I watched like the first 160 episodes of Rurouni Kenshin, and then I stopped being able to download it, and the Lord told me not to download things illegally anymore, and so I haven't watched it since then.
Conviction
Game. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have been, let's see, I just finished a series on Netflix, which was ridiculous, called The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm kind of ashamed that I watched it just because it's so flighty. Like, it's not terrible. There's some language issues. I wouldn't necessarily let little kids watch this.
Yeah.
But take an 8th grader and put her in a 30-year-old woman's body.
That's frightening.
It's hysterical. So, and then put her in New York.
I think my cabbage just flipped out.
Poor thing. So, it was so funny. I actually watched it because a friend of ours, Dana, recommended it. Oh. She was like, Celeste, you will love this. And I was like, okay, Dana. It's just not my thing. But if you need something that is light and ridiculous and will make you laugh, it is good.
Oh, yeah.
Since then, I have moved on to completely opposite genre. I've started the series Alias Grace.
Yeah.
Completely different end of the pool. But that was just today. And I'm already
to that one.
Already on episode 3.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. I like a good mystery. And so it has a bit of mystery to it.
That makes me want to go back and watch Sherlock from like the beginning.
I've had Sherlock's theme song stuck in my head.
Yeah, I may have heard it earlier today, too.
Mostly
on someone's cell phone in my job.
Mostly because I have a Sherlock coloring book that was my Valentine's gift like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's
that
it's on your counter over there, actually.
Yeah, it is. Well, they can't
it's
see
a
it.
reminder of,
They can't see it.
I'm here. I'm beckoning you.
I've gotten it down to 30 more pictures, and I'll be done.
Wow. I didn't realize you got that far.
Yes, I've been taking it with me on Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
It keeps my hands busy. Okay, now Damara. We're having to edit this, everyone. How
You didn't need to know that.
Okay, let's
I could have spit coffee at you for all I know.
That has happened.
Yes, it has. I'm sorry for that, by the way.
That's okay. It was a long time ago. Okay, now.
Sure, that was like, what, a month ago, maybe?
Maybe. That's a long time. A month is a long time. How can our devoted geeks find you if they just really like you or even want to know more about this counseling stuff?
Okay. Well, you can find me on Coffee Talk 318 on WordPress.com. It's a full blog. It's actually combining a little bit of my love of coffee. Obviously, Coffee Talk 318. I'll actually tell you what coffee I was drinking while I was writing the blog. And it talks about counseling, some things that you can use to apply to your own life, some devotions as well. And it heavily combines the counseling side into it a lot of times. I think my second to last post is probably about a thinking area. There are things that I actually teach to my clients that I have right now. So
Nice.
you can find me there anytime.
Nice. Is stroking the cabot's ears part of Coffee Talk 318?
No, but it might become.
Might become part of it?
Yeah, my thinking cabot.
Because you do have your own thinking cabot.
I do, except mine is not a boy, mine's a girl.
Yes.
And yeah, she'd probably greatly enjoy that.
Probably would. Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Comm Talk today. If you've loved this episode, head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It is very much appreciated. Until next Sunday, stay devoted, peace and love.